Hey guys, thanks for waiting. I'm starting it a little bit late. I tried to do it on the planned time, but something was going on with my audio and video and it wouldn't let me start the live stream. So I had to essentially restart my phone, but I'm back now. I was just waiting for some more people to join. And now I'm gonna start the live stream. I turned down the music, but I've still got music on in the background. And if you guys didn't see the description, I'm gonna be making Joy from Inside Out on Disney Plus. Because I had the waiting room, I wanted to wait for people to join, but still have it be somewhat entertaining. So I had the music and then I put that up. So now I've actually got to set up everything, which should not be too hard. Okay, that looks pretty solid. Sorry, I know I'm starting late and I haven't gotten ready yet because it was a little bit of a late start, a little complicated, but I'm here now. And I think that's looking good. So I'm basing this off of a specific picture. Again, I'm making Joy from Inside Out, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna make it, but there's a specific stance that she's gonna be in. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to make it look realistic. And look natural. So right now I'm starting to do her, right now specifically I'm doing her foot, but I'm trying to do kind of her leg. And I'm not sure at all how I'm gonna do this. I think that's a little too big. So I think it's gonna have to start to go up. Like this. But before I get into it, I just want to give a shout out to my parents because they have been helping me from when I very started doing my channel and from when I started doing perler beads. And all this time, they really just helped me through getting stuff done and supporting my channel. And I really, 1,000 subscribers wouldn't have been possible without them. So I just really want to give them a big thank you because of how special they are and everything that they have done for me to help me accomplish this. The last live stream I did was more dedicated to like 1,000 subscribers, and a thank you to that. And this is partially a celebration of that, and also to give a thanks to my parents, because again, wouldn't have been able to do it without them. Let me know how this looks in the chat. I think it's going pretty good. Also, let me know if you like the music. I'm not sure if chat is enabled. One of the snafus I had earlier is I was trying to enable the chat, but for some reason after I did that, things got complicated and it was saying I couldn't access the video or audio. But I'm glad that I've now figured it out. So this is supposed to be like her leg, and this is her foot. It's kind of like pushing back. Cause the picture that I'm basing it off of, she has her arms up and she has like one foot back, kind of bended. So I'm trying to replicate that. Now I'm gonna do just the bottom of her dress. That way, I like know where to connect the legs and how far they need to be apart. I'm not sure how much I want to space them. I think I'm gonna space it by 4. So 2, 4. Hold up. I accidentally just pushed a bead into the other column. 2, 4. And her leg is going to be 3 beads apart. So I'm going to start right here. Yep, okay. So then 4 apart. And then it's got to come down. I want it to, it's not going to perfectly replicate this leg because it's in a different stance, but at the same time I want it to make sense to partially match that leg. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. One thing that I've noticed with doing the ember, like the perler bead ember that I did last video, or last live stream, I mean, it was, the body style was like, I guess you could say like her legs were really big and then it went up and it got really skinny. That's kind of the same thing with Joy. I've noticed that Disney kind of uses the same type of like styling when they animate their characters. They try to make this style, it's a really weird kind of style, like really skinny at the top but actually normal at the bottom. I think now I probably should start to make it come down or make it a little bit skinnier. That way it doesn't look like she has fat legs. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm not sure what's gonna be the hardest part. I mean, overall this is pretty tricky. I think the ember was a bit harder, but the dress for this is pretty easy. I think maybe again the head, possibly, because I've gotta fit it in a weird way. Heads, I don't know why, but whenever you're making something, the head is usually gonna be the hardest part because the head is what brings the whole entire figure or body together. So you need to have like the eyes and the mouth. The mouth isn't usually that hard, but especially like the eyes you're gonna need to get almost perfect. Because if the eyes don't look right, then the whole thing's just gonna be out of whack. I'm not sure how I like this. So it needs to match that other foot. So it needs to come down 2 beads. So how am I gonna... I gotta do something. I'm wondering if maybe I made this leg a little too tall, possibly. Yeah, I think I need to make this leg a little bit smaller. I think it goes, hold on. I think it would look better like that. And that way it's also, this leg doesn't have to seem extra long. How about that? Okay, yeah, that's definitely much better. And then for this, all we gotta do is bring it down 1. So like you can kind of see, might be kind of hard to visualize, but hold on, let me adjust the camera here. Essentially her foot is planted back, and whenever your foot is planted back, it's kind of like curved. So like you can see this is the curve in her foot, and then her leg is going up. And then this is just her front foot, which is just kind of planted flat. So now I've got the legs done. Now I gotta work on the dress, which is a little tricky. One of the things about the dress is it has the like little blue, because you could call them. And this they're gonna look like flowers, but they more look like fireworks if you look at her dress, in the movie. Sometimes like they're like cut off, so I think I'm gonna add one down here. The inspiration that I got for this, one night I was watching Inside Out with my family, and I just realized kind of how much I really love the movie, and I wanted to do a live stream again because I realized how fun it is. So I decided, why not make Joy? And so I decided that I would schedule one a few days later than usual. That way I had more time to plan, because one of the hardest things about doing a live stream is planning them. And so, like, one of the things with my last live stream is at the end, I was kind of scrambling. That way I could make it, like, on time, but also make sure that everything is rock solid. But now I had a little bit of a better plan. Again, I started out late because, again, I was scrambling, but this time I have a rock solid plan for what I'm going to do. I'm really excited to see how this turns out, because I think Inside Out is most likely one of my favorite movies on Disney. Not my favorite, because there's a lot of really good movies and a few good series on Disney, but definitely one of my favorite. Just like Elemental, how I kind of talked about last time how creative it is. I realized that Inside Out is probably one of the most creative movies on Disney. And you know, in my name, I'm Creative G, and I'm really all about creativity. And I really love when Disney puts that into their movies, when they're like super, super creative with it. And that's one of the best things about Disney. Let me know how it's looking. I think it's good. Now I'm working on the dress. So you can see these little blue spots. They're supposed to be like, they look kind of like fireworks on her dress, but in this it looks like flowers. So that's kind of the dress. But one thing that I keep getting stuck on is, like, in Disney, no matter what, one thing that I've noticed with Ember that I made my last live stream, she was from Elemental, and I made her and I realized, wow, her like it starts off around her legs like a normal shape, and then once you get up more to like her belly, it's like super, super narrow. And that's like, and now that I'm doing this, I also notice that it get Joy, she starts out normal and then she gets super narrow. It's kind of weird, but it's cool to see what styles Disney comes up with, because they use a lot of similar styles. One thing that I've seen people point out in certain places is like they'll put two scenes together from two completely, entirely different movies, and then they'll show how, even though there's different characters in it, they're the exact same thing. Like, the exact same thing. I think her dress goes up straight here, and then it curves in here, so I'm just going to keep going straight here, and then put the, like, every once in a while go one bead in here. One of the things that I've noticed about perler beads is it's super, super hard to get like good detail. Most of the time you're gonna have to settle for something that looks like natural, but if you were to add like features that were realistic, the perler bead creation will look super weird. So like, it doesn't matter if my perler bead creation looked exactly like Joy. It would still probably look a little weird, but if I did something that looked hold on, I'm thinking, that looked not really like her, but still looked, you know, I guess you could say realistic, and it looked normal, it would be a lot better. Hold on. Trying to figure out, this is gonna be like a firework. Hold on. I'm gonna just do this. I'm processing in my brain what it's gonna turn out to look like. Oops, I just started to pull apart the boards. Yeah, I think that's good. I'll have a flower here, and then in some part up here, maybe I'll have like a partial flower and then a full flower. I think it looks good. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this row, and I'm wondering if I should do another one and then do a bead in. I think I'm gonna do one more row, and then I'm gonna bring it in by one bead. So I'll do one bead here, and then I'll bring it one bead in. Let me know how it looks, if I do have chat enabled. Most likely I don't, because it's really hard for me to figure out. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm doing this on an iPhone, and so it's a lot, like, I know most YouTubers, they have, they're using high-tech computers and cameras and different stuff like that. But I'm still kind of working around using an iPhone, because it's a lot harder when you have, like, really, I don't know what to call it, but like it's not easy to do things from such a small device with a low quality camera and low quality microphone. Cause sometimes I see YouTubers and they have like these huge cameras with like extra lenses, and they have these massive like fuzzy microphones. But I mean, I swear, it would be hilarious for some, like, let's say a person with 1 million subscribers. I swear they would come and see the setup that I have, and they'd be laughing hysterically. But it's honestly surprising where I've been able to go with what I have. But it's kind of more like, you know, like, don't, even if things seem hard, don't give up, because, like, for example, it's been really hard for me to do YouTube. A story that I think I also told in my other live stream, when I first started YouTube, I was like, I considered if I could get like 10 subscribers, I was amazing. Like I was even happy with around 5 subscribers. I was like celebrating at 11 subscribers, and I was so happy. And then one day I didn't really expect much. I had found a video on YouTube Shorts, and it was like, I think it said something along the lines of, I heard if you use the sound, you get lots of likes and creepy comments, and then it plays the sound. And it got like 4,000 now it has more views, but it got like 4,000 views. And I was like bouncing off the walls, so happy, like I'm famous, I'm famous. I got over 100 subscribers, and I was like so happy. And I know for a lot of other YouTubers that usually doesn't happen. It takes a long time to kind of find what you're gonna do and kind of not necessarily go viral, but find that spot and then have a video get really popular. And I kind of got lucky that that happened to me. I think that's probably one of the main reasons that I've gotten as far as I am now is because I had that little like push, like it was kind of like inspiration almost. Hold on, I think I'm gonna invert that. I'm like in the middle of a deep thought and then hold up. What am I doing? I think I need another flower like right here somewhere. So maybe like up one from this and like over two. Hold on. Would that look too close? Or actually, you know, maybe I'll do one up. There. Like, take away that bead. And then I'll put, like, I guess, I'm gonna call them fireworks. I'll put, a firework right here. I think that's good. And you can kind of see, like, her dress, it just keeps getting skinnier and skinnier. If you look up a picture on Google, you can and you kind of visualize it more closely, you'll see how weird the designs actually are. They're a lot more abnormal than you would think. So I think now I'm gonna invert like one right here. I've been doing straight the whole time, which is actually a good thing. If you're still watching this, thank you so much. One of the things that I've brought it up in the past live stream. The main concern with me doing live streams is even though it can be fun, there's of course there's the worry of, will people want to watch it? Will people come and see it? I first had in my description that I would do a live stream at 1,000 subscribers, and then I took it out because I wasn't sure if I was going to. And then I added it, and then I didn't add it back in, but I decided I was going to because I didn't have really any other way to celebrate. And I thought, you know what, this might be fun, it might be cool. And when I went to do the live stream, there wasn't really anyone watching it. If someone did watch it, they leaved it pretty much immediately, which I didn't really worry about because I was enjoying it. And so I'm glad that like as I grow on, even I think my last live stream was less than a week ago. It was on the 5th, so 5 days later, and it's not much, but it's a little bit better. Trying to figure out how I'm gonna like. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do this. I think it actually needs to probably go in one right here. And then maybe I should put like a flower right there. Yeah, I think that would look good. Oh, come on. I'm trying to pick up 2 beads, but I can't see. Hold on a sec, bear with me. I think this is going to be one of the difficult parts. Okay. Now I'm wondering, okay, so technical difficulties. I also have I have a question. One thing that I have considered doing is a bead like sorting video, where the first part of the video would be me showing how I sort my beads, and then I would do a time lapse of me sorting the beads. So I want to show you guys. I've got my bins here. On the side, they're in color order for the most part. But then I've still got this huge bin of beads that I still have to sort. So I'm wondering if I should do a video like that. It would be kind of weird to do, because I think telling you guys how I organize my bins, first of all, it's not the most interesting thing out there, because most people, if you want to sort your beads, you do it by color order or whatever works for you. You don't really need someone. It's not like a tutorial. And also, the problem with doing a time lapse of like me sorting, the only problem with that is that it's like, first of all, I'm not gonna be able to finish sorting the whole thing, and also kind of like, for some people it might be enjoying to see people sift through a bunch of perler beads, but for me, I don't think that would be very interesting. But I'm still not sure. I can only know if you guys tell me. So I don't know if I have comments on this. If I do, then please tell me in the comments if that's something you would want to see. But if it isn't, you can go. I post daily, and I also check my videos a lot. So you can maybe go to one of my posts or go to like one of my recent videos and like comment and say, hey, you know, I saw the live stream, I want you to do this, or I don't want you to do this. Maybe I'll even put a post out there to ask people, but I'm still not sure about it. Because I'm not sure it's something that people are gonna want. Let me know how it's going. I feel like it's been going pretty good so far. Probably a little bit better than the Ember that I made, but again, I'm kind of pausing every once in a while, cause when I go to put beads, I'm not usually placing them randomly and then moving them. I'm often kind of trying to think it through my head what it's gonna look like. That way I can have an educated guess on where to put the beads. So in the stance, as I told you guys before, I'm basing this off of a photo. So her leg is coming down here, and she's like got her foot back, like almost like she's in a defensive stance, with her foot pressed back, and her other foot is forward. And again, I said that her arms are up, so she's kind of, I don't know how to describe this to you guys, but one foot is back, and then she has like her arms up, because she is joyous, she is happy, you know. So I'm gonna do the arms. I think I figured out the hardest part now. I think it's gonna be trying to make the arms in the face without making them, what's the word? Like, without making them bleed into each other. So like, for example, if I have an arm, I think I'm gonna have an arm going this way, an arm going this way, and then her head. It's not gonna look good if I just have a bunch of tan here. So I have to figure out how to, like, to distribute and kind of, make sure that you can tell where her arms begin and end and where her face begins and end. So that way it's not looking really weird. I think that's one of the hard parts about having like a Perlerbee character's arms up, is you have to make sure that someone can like tell that it's not like that, like, her hands are actually up. You gotta be able to tell like what's going on. So first I'm just gonna do this hand, and then I'll do this hand, and then the last thing is gonna be the face, which is probably the second hardest thing, from, again, making sure that the arms and the face don't bleed into each other. I don't know how far I'm gonna go up. Hold on, I'm trying to think how far I want them to go up so that it looks good but not weird. 2, 4, and then I was about to place number 6. I think I'll go up to like 9. I think that'll look good. Maybe something like that. And then if it doesn't look good, I can always change it. Okay, so hold on. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so then I just need one more row of 2 right here. I mean, it looks a little long, but I think it'll look better once I have her other arm and then her head. Yeah, I think that looks okay. And then it's just gonna go up diagonal like this, like a staircase. So we're at almost 35 minutes. I'm actually kind of surprised. I guess the Ember, she was a little bit harder to make and definitely took longer. But I thought this would take longer because my last live stream, being the one where I made Ember, it was like almost an hour and 30 minutes, I think, something like that. And it was super, super long. But now I gotta figure out also how to like balance this out with the other arm and make it a certain length. So I'm gonna figure that out real quick here. Hold on. I think this one up to 9. I think this one's, I'm gonna make it go up to 8. And that should look pretty good, pretty normal. Two, 4, 6, and 8. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm liking that. Now to make her head. So you can see, now you can tell what I mean by like trying to make it so that they don't bleed together. You can see I have a very, very small space to work with. Like to make her head. And her head needs to be a certain, like, it needs to be big enough that I can make her facial features and it looks normal in that sense. But also, like, for example, it wouldn't make sense if her cheeks came out to this point and this point. I think that's something that's a lot more obvious. So this is essentially gonna be like her neck. It's gonna look a little weird. But it's fine. I don't know. Hold on. I'm gonna make some calculations here. Hold on. So what if I I'm like talking to myself. I'm not gonna focus on the hair right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna outline what I think her head should, like the shape of what I think the shape of her head should be, and then I'm gonna work on facial features. Well, actually, right after that, then I'm gonna work on hair, then I'll work on facial features, and then I'll just fill it in. Wait, no, hold on. I want it to go over like this. Okay, this might be a little harder than I thought, but that's okay. So, wait, okay. Okay, and then like that. And then I think it'll go up to her hair. You know, I'll just do the hair instead of outlining the head. I think that's gonna be a little bit easier. So I think her hair will start there. Hold on, making some calculations. Okay. And then I'm just gonna do the outlining of her hair on her head. Maybe go N1, and then obviously at once I'm done getting the shape of her head, I'll do the rest of her hair and then facial features. Okay. Okay, I think that's good for the outline of the head. Hold on. And then I'm like, like more for her hair. I'm gonna go to tan and do that. I think that's good. Now I'm gonna do the rest of her hair. So one of the things about her hair is that it's almost like in the back of her head she's got bedhead. Like she's got a huge clump of hair sticking out, which I can say the same exact thing happens to me, even when I don't have bedhead. Like for some reason, it's weird. It just doesn't want to stay down. But now she has that same kind of like thing with her hair. So I've got to make a part that sticks out. But first I want to make like just the thickness of her hair, like her regular hair. Wait, no. You know what? Hold on. Oh, shoot. Put this one up here. Like that. I have barely any idea what I'm doing. Oh, come on. I'm dropping beads now. Okay. So then up here, right here, this is going to be the part of her hair that sticks out. So it'll like be coming out here, and then the rest of her hair will be natural and filled in. I think it should come out pretty good. If these beads can actually place or get placed. So probably like that, and then I'll continue this for a little bit. Her hair is a little bit thick, so even though it looks weird that I'm making her hair that thick, trust me, it'll turn out normal and good by the end. Okay, that's good. Now I've got to do, I'm gonna do facial features, so just her eyes and her mouth. I don't know if she has, I think she does have a nose, but it's like super, super small. And it's literally the same exact color as her skin. So there wouldn't really be any way that I can make her nose. I think she'll turn out just normal with only her eyes and her mouth. I got no idea where to place her eyes. Maybe like that. I think that looks good. And then like up here, cause her like, you know, you'll see in the end. It'll turn out good. Her head is like a little tilted. So her eyes are looking that way. Now I just gotta do her mouth and then fill it in. Her mouth's gonna be like down here. Thinking maybe, or wait, hold on. Should do it like that, and then take out this tan bead and put in the black one there. I think that's looking pretty good. Now I'm just gonna fill in the tan, and then I have to iron it. Another thing that's super nerve-wracking about doing live streams is if you iron and you mess up, you can't like not post the video. Like you just have to go with it. But I'm usually pretty good at ironing. I have a decent iron and I've learned from past mistakes. But I have a good strategy to how I iron it. That way, like, no, the parchment paper doesn't lift up and then the beads lift up and then it's all ruined. I've got a good way of keeping them down. But I know a lot of people make mistakes when ironing because they do something stupid. And sometimes it's really easy to make stupid mistakes like that because I do them all the time, but I've learned a way to not make those mistakes. Like for example, it's a lot of people tell you never to lift up your iron while ironing, but that's not what's gonna help you not ruin your perler bead creation. What's gonna help you not ruin your perler bead creation is not, let's say I have my parchment paper on and I'm ironing, and first let's say I iron her head up here, but just a little bit, and then I come down here and I iron her legs. What's gonna happen? The parchment paper is gonna kind of start to peel off because not everything is like stuck together good enough, and then everything will just like there will be loose perler beads and it will just be kind of a waste. It's kind of hard to describe how you can mess up in that sense, but if you don't, I suggest that you put your iron on a slightly higher setting. That way, there's no really concern about melting them, because let's be real, you're not going to overmelt a perler bead creation. You might end up accidentally making it like more, I don't know how to describe this. You might accidentally make it more retro, like pixelated, until the circles are squares, but there really is no over ironing perler beads unless you literally iron them until they've like actually melted, like have stuck to the table and are completely flat. That's over ironing, but in my opinion, put it on a higher setting. That way you don't have to worry about your creation being ruined. Right now I've got the parchment paper on. I'm going to have to replace the parchment paper soon because it's got some holes. I'll probably do that honestly after this. But right now I'm just waiting for my iron to heat up. I don't know what iron you all have, but it's done by like different like little dots. I usually, most of the time I put it on 1, but when I'm doing something that's really important, really big, I put it on 2. That way, like I said, there's no worries about messing it up. I always iron from the bottom to the top. And make sure to hold it down because it's gonna go everywhere. Okay, so you can see, okay, so I'm lifting up my iron, nothing is happening. There's no worries, but you can see some of these beads are lifting up, and sometimes what will happen is those beads will completely lift up and they won't go back on the pegboard. And then you've got partially melted beads and beads that aren't melted, and it basically puts the whole entire creation to waste. Which you never want to do that, especially when you've worked so hard. Like with this one, I put so much effort into it. You really want to make sure that you don't mess it up. That's another thing I suggest. Don't iron all of your perler beads the same way. Iron them in different ways depending on how important they are and also how you want it to look. If you want to make something more retro, then I would suggest ironing it harder to make it pixelated. But if you want it to have more of a a bead-like look, then maybe you don't iron it as much so that you can see through the beads. Or one thing that I've done that looks super, super great, if you have a perler bead creation that looks the same forwards and backwards, so like if you flip it each way, it'll look the same. One thing that I've done is done one side more like, I guess you could say pixelated, and then on the other side I'll just barely iron it, or just don't iron it, but I suggest just ironing it a little bit, and it will look super, super good in the end. So, if you've watched my videos, you might say, hey, what are you doing? Because whenever I make a perler bead short, so a time lapse, it's a short, so I don't want to make it too long, and I also don't want to lose the interest of the people watching. So what I will do is I will showcase the perler bead creation from both sides, and then I will end the video. But as soon as I end the video, what I do is I put something very, very heavy on it. So for example, heavy book, heavy jar of candies, and a 12-pound weight. So that way my perler bead creation does not, it doesn't warp. One of the biggest perler bead mistakes you can ever make is making your perler bead creations warp. As soon as you're done with it, or if you need to, you can wait a little bit like I do with my shorts. Absolutely make sure that it does not warp, because it won't ruin your perler bead creation. But here, let me give you an example while that's cooling down and flattening. I'm going to show you a perler bead creation that's really warped and one that is almost perfectly straight. Hold on a second here. I have like a jar of perler beads, so I'm looking through it to find good examples. Okay, so I want to show you guys. This is a perler bead creation. I actually made it for my dad, partially for me. It is a frog. It's based off of a Squishmallow, and it is adorable. I have ironed it perfectly so you can see through the holes. Probably one of my best ironing jobs and creations I've done. You can see it is almost perfectly straight. Barely any warping, but Sorry, that's an alarm that I have. But you can see here, I ironed it too much and then I didn't put anything heavy on it. So you can see it's warped and to the point that it's ugly. Another thing is beads have exploded and on the backside it's really rough. And you can tell, like, for example, which would you rather have, this Pokeball or this Squishmallow Frog? You can tell that this is way better because this is so warped. And that's just a word of advice. I want other people to be able to learn from other people's mistakes before they make it themselves and learn the hard way. So you can see you're definitely going to want to make sure they don't warp. But I just finished. It's pretty much cooled down. It's a little warped, but you know, you're always going to have a little bit of warpedness. I don't know. That's not a word, but now I need to also iron the backside. I almost forgot about that. I was over here like, okay, time to showcase it, and I was like, wait, the backside's feeling a little weird. And I remembered that I didn't iron the backside either as well. So now I'm gonna iron the backside, and then I'm gonna put it under the book for a little while longer, and then I will showcase it to you. I'll be happy if this can get under an hour. My iron has now warmed up, so I'm gonna start ironing. Gonna be honest with you guys, the back side of your Perler bead creation is not nearly as valuable as the front side. So I would suggest, if, for example, if there's something that like the front side is all you need, but the back side is useless. But this is something that's special that you want to stay together. I would suggest ironing the back side heavy and not ironing the front side as much. That way the back, since it's useless as far as its image, that is just ironed a lot, so that it that way it has extra support, but that way the front side, it doesn't have to be ironed as much, because that's going to be the looks. And honestly, depending on what you're doing, it's going to look better if it isn't pixelated. Things I would suggest to be pixelated are retro things, maybe Pokemon, things that make sense to be pixelated, but there's also some things that you don't want to be pixelated here. In a second, I'll give you an example. I'm just going to have this. I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to put the book / candy jar / weight on top of it. It's not a very pretty picture, but I'm going to show you. If you're a fan of the channel, you know I've done something really, really cool and neat that I'm very proud of. Just let me find it. I'm literally sifting through a huge pile of Perler beads. Hold on a sec, I don't know why. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I know why. I am not, okay. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry for that, guys. I was looking through my drawer of Perler beads and I realized that it wasn't in that drawer. I actually turned it into a magnet. This is my Perler beads Starry Night painting. It's made out of Perler beads, but you can see on the front I did a very, very light, I ironed it very lightly, and then on the back I made it almost pixelated, because the back is useless, but the front you're really going to need to look nice. If you're wondering what this is a magnet. I recently got a bunch of magnets and keychains, and so it's up on the fridge right now. But I would recommend with something like this, the front is all you need to look good, but the back is useless, and it's really important. Make the back super ironed, and then make the front look a lot better by not ironing it as much. Okay, I'm back now. I just had to put that back on the fridge. This is now probably done flattening. Oh, she did a little spin. Nah. She was trying to do a backflip and got stuck in midair. I'll help you. So this is how it turned out. I think it looks really good. So again, if you can't tell, nah, I'm just kidding. This is Joy from Inside Out. And I started with her legs and then I went up. I think she looks pretty good. I am gonna say, I think more the dress was the tricky part, trying to get all the dimensions right. But overall, this was really fun to make. So then, this is the other side. Not as important. You can see I did the little bed head, the little bed head thing. Her arms are up, and you can see, this is what it's talking about. Her foot is back, and like she's got her foot planted back, 1 foot forward, and then her arms are up, like almost like she's happy. I think she turned out really good, and I really enjoyed making that. Again, I just wanted to tell you guys again the purpose of this video is because I wanted to give like a shout out to my parents because of how much they've helped me get, kind of grow my channel and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Peace out.